Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Mental Health Forum. Another Wednesday with another wonderful topic. And even our today's guest is also very inspiring person. Every time, whenever he come on board and share his story or share the experiences he got in his life, I think that's very motivational for others as well. And that's the reason we are doing Mental Health Forum for so long. So before I formally start the program, it's always important to welcome my co-host Kim Kalin. So let's welcome Kim. Hi Kim, welcome back.
Hi, Sana. Thanks for having me. Lovely to be back again.
Yeah, and of course, our today's topic is very important to discuss. But our today's guest is is someone who is very inspiring for others and even for us as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's a lovely person and he has just such a good heart. And you
Yes,
can feel that when you're,
talk to
talking to
him.
him and
Yeah.
with what he's doing. And I think we need to have more people around us with a good heart.
Yes. And Kim, before we talk about our today's topic and we formally invite our guest, can you just tell us a little bit about the purpose of the show?
Absolutely, Sana. We've been doing this show for 2 years, and I think we're actually making a bit of headway because people are
Yes,
becoming
now
more
it's,
informed.
yeah,
And of course, it's the purpose of the show is to educate you and your families on human rights abuses in the area of mental health and psychiatric human rights abuses so that we can make positive changes. And that's what we're aiming to do here. We want to get you educated so you can make the right decisions about yourself and your family. So that's what we're doing, and that's what we'll
yes,
keep on doing as long as you want us to do it, until you
yes.
get sick of us and say, that's it, had enough.
And when you just said that we are ahead of 2 years as well, and it reminded me, yes, we almost cross, I think, 2 years. So now I think it's time to celebrate as well. One day we decide to do something to celebrate, to acknowledge all the guests who ever come on board. And 2 years journey is not a small journey. We started this
Absolutely.
during lockdown, and now even after lockdown we are still doing it, and we have wonderful people who join us every week. Our family is growing slowly, and that is what that is the purpose we are doing it. And thanks a lot, Kim, for all the efforts you put in doing every week a new show with a new guest and with a new topic. Without you we can't go that long. So thanks a lot for your contribution, and I think we decide something to celebrate as well. So now coming back to our today's topic, even you can see that the slide is there. So our today's topic is helping others deciding their destiny. And for this we have a lovely guest, as we already told you that whenever he's on our show, it's very inspiring, and he shared his own journey and all his own experiences of life with us. It's not experiment, even though he do experiment with his with his life, but anyhow it's his experiences. So now I don't want to waste time. It's time to invite our guest, who is none other than Kyle. It's uh, and he has
Kyle's
just launched.
varieties.
Yes, no, no, Kyle's Fridays. Yeah, she already tell me, spare me if I didn't pronounce his name right. But I just look around that what I'm going to do, because he already launched his book, and I just thought that we are going to discuss a bit of an intro, who is he and all that. But I think I don't waste time today. It's
Yes,
let's welcome him first, and then we ask him to introduce a bit or just give a brief introduction.
sounds
So
like a
welcome
plan.
back, Kyle. Hope you are doing well, and congratulations for launching your book.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your support the whole way through. I've really enjoyed just getting on board with you guys and just seeing what value I can add and what I can learn from you. And so yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
So you
and
said
now
you had a bit of a hiccup with the book, so it hasn't, you had to put the book launch back?
Yeah, so it's very close, probably a week out of being ready digitally. But I want to do a proper launch with physical books, and to
Yeah.
actually get those physical books, I kind of need to leave a little bit of a like an 8 to 10 week gap, to ensure that I can get the right amount and,
Yeah.
and put it all in. So I've got a few, I guess, book launch advisors helping me out, and I most likely will do an official launch online, market that, and then do a physical launch. So I might
Right.
just do the physical launch in 8 to 10 weeks time, or very soon I'll just, hey, I got to get this out there. Let me do the digital
Yeah.
launch and then the physical one. So yeah, but it's a process. It's a birthing process. But hey Sarah, how you going? I love you guys have got an awesome community on this channel. I really love it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
And
we
whenever
do.
you are back on our show, I think you enhance the beauty. Plus, your charm is always there, Kai. So thanks a lot.
Stop it, you.
Oh, she's good, isn't she?
Buttering me up here.
Yeah. Well, let us know when that launch is, especially, well, of course, the online launch, because definitely would love to make that, if it doesn't conflict with the millions of other things that are going on at the moment. But anyway, definitely, you're very important to us, so we would love to be part of that with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And before we start and asking about how to change the destiny and all that, just share a bit about your journey so far and your brief introduction.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the title of the book came on a very special day. And what happened was I was kind of at those crossroads. You get at those crossroads, or you get at that kind of fed up sort of time of your life. And I had just come back from sending off a very special person, and I was on the edge of my bed and just in a deep prayer, and I was just asking, I said, look, I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of embarrassment, which are usually two of the biggest fears human beings have. Especially if you get it as a combo deal, it's not joyful. So I'm not afraid of those things. I just want to get on with my path. I want to get on with my journey. I want to get on with the work that I'm supposed to be showing up doing every single day here. So please, God, ether, universe, just help me get on path. Just show me the way. Show me the path. So in that moment, a book came out the corner of the eye, corner of my eye while my eyes was closed, and it had a bold, black cover, and then it had the words "Decide Your Destiny." And then I heard a voice in my ear say, "Write your story." Now, why those words are so powerful is because it was 8 years earlier that my grandfather said those words to me, and it was 2 months before I finished school. And we were just sitting on the lounge room. There was no conversation. We were just both sitting down, and the sun was coming in through the blinds and kissing the side of his face. And he just had this warm, boyish grin. And he turned to me with this big smile, and he said, "Decide your destiny." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Decide your destiny." I said, "What are you saying, Clivey?" He said, "Make sure whatever you do in your life that you decide your destiny." And that went in, 18-year-old, that went in one ear, straight out the other. 2 months later, I went into an induced coma, nearly died. My life was forever changed. I had a major organ that was affected. My health, I healed my heart naturally when I was 18. And then I also had surgeries later on, and I had all these different things that I had to deal with. Consider my longevity, consider every single decision, consider multiple specialists, appointments, and the amount of mental, what should I say, like a mental assault almost. You're trying to hold, you're trying to hold, but your knees are, your mental stilts, in your mind are kind of buckling along the way. And, so I've been through all that, and going through all of that, and then eventually Decide Your Destiny, that kind of philosophy that I became the custodian of, thanks to my grandfather, coming back to me many years later, is what I'm bringing forth, and trying to, I am bringing that forth as much as possible.
That's awesome, Cole.
That's
That is really
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, in our last show, you explained what influenced your life, and you've just sort of gone over that briefly again. Thank you for that. And how that continues to affect you and what you're doing now. So I just wanted to know, is this still the major influencing factor in your life? And I did see something that you said in a YouTube video that I just watched this morning, actually, that instead of waiting till you get old, and I think this is what a lot of people tend to do, you tend to wait for many years until you find the path that you're supposed to be going on. So, you know, how do you think that compares to you're a young bloke and you're actually doing it now in your youth before you get old? So you've got, you know, your whole life ahead to spread your message. So how do you think that that's affecting you now in your journey that you're taking?
Well, great question. Great question. And thanks for supporting the YouTube channel and checking the video out.
That's right.
No, I really appreciate that. And I think if you're not actively, and you know, sometimes even I was on a podcast this morning and someone said a great comment. They said prioritizing is another form of procrastinating. And I went, what? And he said, if you think about it, you are putting something else in front of something else to make, you know, it's productive procrastination. So it just made me think in a new way. And I think that's what it is. You don't want to procrastinate your destiny. You don't want to procrastinate your life journey and your path. And it's something that's crucial. And look, to be honest, it takes a hell of a lot of waking up this spiritual being inside of you on this planet. I've had many, you know, experiences to wake my spiritual being up, to wake my heart and my soul up. And, you know, it would have been great if I got it on the first go, second go, third go, but it takes multiple wake ups to actually realize, wait a minute, I've got this heartbeat. This is the moment that I have. What am I going to do with it? Is there someone that I need to tell that I love them, that I appreciate them, I care for them? Is there something that can I change a negative feedback loop? Can I change a bit of an attitude that I've got, or an attitude problem? What can I do in this heartbeat right now? And rather than, oh no, look, I'll do it, you know, on Sunday when I got a bit of time. No,
Yeah.
You've got time now. You've got time now, and that's when you have to do it. You have to do it when that, you know, when that hits you. So that's really, really something that I'm really passionate about. You know, and in terms of the question, I believe, yeah, it's going to put me in good stead. But being consciously aware of it, consciously aware of every single heartbeat, and I forget, you know, we're all flawed beings in different ways, and we've got, you know, lots of information coming to our consciousness to deal with, and it's important to keep reminding ourselves. But I had my cousin. I had a cousin that I grew up with when I was born in South Africa, and I spent a few years in South Africa, and I would go back every few years. And every time I go back to South Africa, this cousin was like an older brother to me. And he, you know, was becoming a DJ, and he was loved by the family, and he had this, you know, amazing girlfriend and all these distinctions. And my grandfather would show me a photo of him, and, you know, there's so much love towards him, but he just really was embodying that living, like he was really like a living being, you know. And he was murdered at the age of 21, and that really, for me, it really, you know, captured that you don't know how long you have. You know, you need to make moves right now. You need to take this life right now. And that sort of reminder is so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and now coming back to your book, Kyle, can you just tell us, like, you know, about your book a little bit, like, you know, what this book is about, even though you already told us, but then how you think it is going to decide, or through this book, anyone can decide their own destiny. So if you can just tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, for sure. So the purpose, the premise, the content of the book is to help you align your heart and soul with your chosen destiny. So the whole way through the book, that's the purpose. Every chapter ends with an exercise that focuses back on that. So it is a transformative memoir. So I do tell part of my story, and then through that, pulling out the exercises. And I don't hold anything back here. So I go through, you know, why I was homeless at the age of 14, what happened in that period, who came in to help me, what did I learn by that help, you know, and all those different things, like just that one aspect, you know, how much help, how many people do need help, and how sometimes we get in our own way, or we get in the way of helping that person because we think, no, you know, who's going to listen to me? Am I going to sound too pretentious? It's like, no, people need our help. They want our help. There's people out there just wanting a mentor. People want a mentor. I want a mentor. People want a coach. I want a coach. You know, it's just such an important part of it. So the book goes through, you know, all the sections surrounding how to decide your destiny and become the authority over your own life through what I've been through, pulling from my grandparents who had a combined 178 years of life experience, and just bringing that all into the book and making it applicable rather than just, hey, here's a lovely story, bit of a tearjerker. No, it's actually every chapter we finish with an exercise. We focus on how this can improve your life.
That's great, Cole. So what I wanted to ask you as well is, like, you talk about, like, I think it might be a blurb on your book, and it says he's looking to serve and help revolutionize the concerning reality of young male suicide rates and current mental health crisis. And it goes on, the light to spark the essence within can be relit. And this book aims to do that and build on the character of the soul and the excellence and potential found in everyone's heart. So I was just like looking at that and thinking that how, just a question that I want to ask here is, like, talking about the mental health issues and the increase in the suicide that is been happening in reality in this country, and an increase in the last couple of years, right? And unfortunately being pretty much hidden as well. So what do you think the programs that you're providing in your book and in your mentoring that you're doing, in the seminars that you're doing and things like that, and your speaking events, what do you think, how can you envisage that setting up something like that is going to help these people who are in such dire crisis where, you know, they're at the point where they're even considering suicide?
Yeah, well, look, personally, I experienced that as well when I was a teenager, you know, and I understand it from a first-hand experience, from wanting to escape, wanting to find a way out, and the harsh reality of the last few years, you know, I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all that something like this happens. You know, life is both angles of it and edges of it. And when bad things happen, people react poorly. You know, some people want to, you know, brush under the rug some of the serious problems that are in our society because it doesn't, you know, benefit their constituents or their program. So there's so many elements at play, and I'm not surprised that people feel like they can't escape. How do I escape? How do I get out? How do I find a way out? You know, whether it's fear of illness, or it's economic pressures, or it's relationships, or it's, you know, all of that, really, my honest belief, comes back to your personal responsibility. And the more that you can work on and grow yourself and bring the story, bring the light back onto you, then the more you can control the controllables. And you can, you know, I had, I guess, health conditions where I had in the last few years, everyone telling me, oh my gosh, you got to be careful, you got to worry, you got to be careful. Just throwing fear and concern and anxiety in, trying to throw it into my consciousness. But I've developed over these years the strength to focus on what I control, how I take care of my immune system, how I take care of my health. And the more you do that in your life, you're actually able to evade some of the impacts that are going to happen. You know, COVID-19, economic, you know, situation, whatever it is, these things do happen on planet Earth. And in order to help yourself mentally, you need to actually strengthen yourself, work out where you're going. And I think that's what's happened in the last few years. I had a positive view of it, that all this chaos and craziness was going to bring out a more, I guess, free trade, open humanity, connecting to people around the globe with the technologies that we have at hand. You know, some channels like this, where in a big way, podcasting has gone up, longer form conversations rather than just short snippets of drama. You know, all these things have come out, which has been really positive. And that's the focus. So it really is about bringing the focus back onto you, because if you're waking up every day and reading all the negative things about the world, and then not seeing your responsibility or your obligations or your role in that, you know, whatever you're reading, then of course you're going to be at a loss. And that's the thing. You know, you want to try and bring more authority back into your own life, and that's the purpose.
That's
And I think
fantastic.
that, yeah.
We've got some really great comments there, and
Yes, I can see them too.
You want to go over some of them, Sana?
Yes, we got Maria with us. Hi, Maria. And she said, being in control of your life puts you at cause of situations that you are faced. So,
100%.
and I think we totally agree with that. And then we have Sarah.
Thank
We
you,
love you,
Maria.
Sarah. And then she said, so true. You can get my mind. Said we can get the strength to get out of the relationship or help with mental health, as your inner voice can be stronger than your outer voice. Totally agree with you.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Lee is with us, and Lee said, we need more people like you, Carl. Maybe you could find the time to go and do some talks in school to our kids. I would love that for my son. So
Well,
I
he's in
think that's a
Sydney.
very good advice.
I may be going over to Sydney at some point, so I'll have to connect with you, Lee.
Definitely catch up with Lee. He's a great guy. He does some work. We work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
the thing is that what Lee is saying there, you know, if you can see that in me, you have it in you. If you can see those things, we all have it within us. We all have it within us to speak, to help, and this community that you guys are creating is, you know, is facilitating that. So anyway, sorry, Andrew. What are they?
Yeah, so Andrew is here, and he said, so true. You have only got so much time, and you don't have any time, any to waste. So don't think, just decide, and then do. You will never regret it.
Good advice, Andrew. Well done. That's
Andrew.
great. Absolutely. And Andrew lives by that too. He keeps himself really busy. I'll read this one if you like, Sana.
Yes, yes.
The hidden standard is the pretended standard that does not exist. He's getting very philosophical here. When somebody comes along and says, well, yes, maybe if you work a little harder and practice for many more years, perhaps you'll come up to good sound craftsmanship that is passable, and you're left in wonderment as to what the hell was that all about. Nothing you could rely on. Absolutely, Andrew. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
We do have another comment from Maria. She said, media never say the truth, so find the truth for yourself. This is the best authority.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Self-trust. and a lot of, another thing on that point is that you think about it, right? There is some positive and good news and good journal and good stories out there, but they don't make it. They don't make the way around because they don't have that drama. You know, they don't have that as human beings, we're naturally pulled towards that drama, that sensationalism, that intensity. You know, and you look at all the videos, all the algorithms that kind of work, they work towards that. So exactly what she's saying, you've got to become the authority of your mind over what you decide to, you know, put in front of you. Are you going to keep getting your mind caught up in that drama and that fight and that would naturally, you know, attune to, or are you going to take some control over your mind and go, look, I know how much I want to watch this drama or read about this drama story, but I need to put it away just, you know, for a minute. So yeah.
One of the things that we were advising people to do during the lockdown is just stop reading the media for a couple of weeks. Stop watching the television, stop reading the bad news, and because all the bad news just makes you feel worse. So if you can actually, you know, step away from that and get outside and start, you know, doing some positive things. Yeah,
100%.
I don't know how many times we talked about that.
Well, I'm so glad you did, because oftentimes, in order to change, you have to get rid of something. You know, in order to go for that run in the morning, I have to get rid of a thought. I had to, for a long period of time, I had a thought that it sounds so stupid. And it's amazing because you can think that you're over something or you're through something or you've grown through something, but there's still maybe just a little trailing thing. And I just kept having this thought like, oh my God, I hope my heart doesn't explode on this jog, you know? And it's such an intense thought to have every morning before you went for a jog. And only until I became really consciously aware that I was having that thought was I able to actually then change it. And get rid of it, and there's things that you have to get rid of. There's so many things that you have to get out of your life if you want to start having a better life.
That's right. That's a lovely, lovely thing that Lee's written there. Someone once said to me, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
Exactly.
Yeah, be that.
Exactly.
So instead of pointing at someone else and saying you should do it, it's like the finger comes back to you.
Yeah, and that's how we can all change our community, our reality. If we all change ourselves.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Look at the comments are flying in.
I know. Look at them. We've got this whole philosophy going on here.
Yes.
This whole discussion. And very, very.
We could call it philosophy segment.
Oh yes, let's do that.
Maybe because of the topic of your book is something like which required some sort of philosophy, like Maria said. Amazing. You decide what you want to accept and what you don't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Go you, Maria.
Absolutely. There you go,
And
Sarah.
then,
Sarah Jane. I don't watch the news, as it isn't the real life. You're right, honey. Seeing and hearing things through your own eyes and experience is the real life. Absolutely. 100%. Now, Carl, I wanted to ask you about, because we are getting close to our end of time, as usual.
Yes.
So you've come quite a long way in the last 6 months that I've observed, right? You're getting out more, your platform's bigger, you've got more followers, right? And I wanted to ask you, from the viewpoint of what you're delivering to people, on that they can make a decision on their own destiny. What have you observed in the mental health of the people and the welfare of the people around you that you're dealing with?
Yeah, so like I shared earlier, the mentors that you have and the coaches that you have and the people you have in your life. So a mentor, doesn't need to be officially, hey, here's my resume, I'm now your mentor. One mentor is a gentleman that I know in the Fremantle network, and Fremantle in the community, and he's someone who gets out there when it's give a damn, give a can, when whatever charity is going on, whatever. He's someone who worked for Qantas many years ago, worked in his own travel agencies. He knows sales, and so he's out there selling the local population on charity, on giving back.
Right.
And catching up with him recently, he shared with me how he's in his 80s and he's just got this amazing bandwidth of commitment. And he was telling me how he says to his friends, because a lot of his friends sit there and they complain about their ailments, complain about their problems, and he says, you don't understand how much value you have to give to the younger generation. Your years of experience, your ups and downs, your challenges. And I think that's really the point right there, is that if you're waking up every day and asking, what can I give? What can I provide? What can I actually bring into the world? It sets you in good stead. And that's when I think you can actually start to consider, deciding your destiny and what that does for your own life, and actually bring that forward into your life. You're actually waking up every morning and choosing the direction, I don't think I quite answered your question though. So maybe
no, that's okay, Carl. Totally fine. We always like to leave a couple of on the edge there so that we can get you back.
So I think we can invite you.
Like Lee's got a question there, and I think that's something for next time as well, because that's something that maybe you can have a think about, and we'll definitely put that into our next interview that we do with you after you actually give yourself a chance to get that book totally launched and get it out there in the public hands so that people can start doing reviews for you.
Yes.
And definitely I'd love to do that. If you're interested, you can send us a copy and we'll do a review, and we can get that off for as well. Anyway, Sana.
So last question is of course, still there is a room to invite you next time as well. But for this show is how can we get a copy of your book? Whoever is watching us and they need that to buy your book or to purchase it. So how can they get a copy of your book? And then anything you want to add on, any message which motivates other that they must have a copy of your book. because they have to decide their destiny.
Yeah, they have to
Other than this,
decide.
anything
Decide
else.
when I get the book.
Sana, do you want to work in my company as marketing for my book there? I love it. I love it. You're very good. Yeah, so if you guys want to head to decideyourdestinybook.com, that's where the book website is, and you can pre-order through there. And also, if you want to find out more information about me, it's just Kyle Spreedy's on YouTube, and that's where I guess most of the content is.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that would sell the book would be if you are ready, and like everyone who's been on this live already is ready, to really take your life seriously. Take your life as seriously as you take the lives of what's on the TV screen, what's out there in the world. You know, really take your life seriously, because you can only improve the lives of others and other people by actually changing yourself, you know. And as much as you get told in the world, oh, if you just do this, if you walk this way and be like this and just, you know, don't talk about this and talk about that, then you're a good citizen. No, it takes much more, and it's more about your personal growth, your personal development. You know, everyone that's shown up here tonight has showed up here because of that. They haven't showed up here because someone told them this is what it means to be a good citizen. So it's about that personal growth. So if you want to have that personal growth, take importance over your destiny, take authority back over your own life, and then empower and enrich the lives around you with that power, then I would highly suggest supporting my cause, getting this book, sharing it around for anyone else. And if there's anybody out there that would love to connect with me directly, you know, I'm always keen to actually connect with the community. That's what it's about, you know, not just saying something, preaching something. It's actually talking to real people. So yeah, please reach out to me if you'd like.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. And I think if you need some sort of hope and some sort of inspiration, then we must have some sort of books in our collection as well, that whenever you feel low, you need to change or divert your mind, these are the books who motivates you that, okay, if he can do it, we can do it as well. So, and plus, even we got this comment from Lee. He said, please get in contact with me when you come to Sydney. Would love to get you into the schools and telling your story to kids, which is really a great thing, because I think we need to motivate our younger generation as well. Because sometimes in school they discuss mental health and all those things, and I think they should share these kind of motivational stories as well.
Yeah, 100%. I've got a couple of kids that have done work experience with me, and that's one of the things that I really focus on is not just there for them to do work experience to learn the trade of photography and videography. I'm there to actually find out more about their life. Where do they want to go? What do they want to do? You know, what did their parents say? So for instance, just quickly, one of the kids, his parents said, well, you know, you can do work experience with this gentleman, but, you know, I want you to do something that pays, which of course you want to have money in the world. We live in an economic planning. But I had to say, well, what do you mean pays? Because, you know, my uncle is a great example of a photographer in Sydney who is, you know, had his own house, supported his family, you know, took his kids through school, all through that tool of the camera. So you can do it too. So for me, I was inspired and moved by his, you know, challenge by his parents to say, hey, wait a minute, here's an example for you to see. And there's examples out there every day. And that's what you said about, you know, looking at books and bringing positive things into your life. They're examples of you can have a better life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And like, you know, just now it's time to wrap up. But Maria said that, Kyle, what is your website again, please? So even after the show, Kyle, if you got time, please respond to all the curious people who want to in touch with you. And then even if you can share your website, your contact details. And I must say that, like, you know, today I just joined your YouTube channel, and I just saw one video. It's very inspiring. So now, every now and then, whenever you share your post, at least I think if you got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, saw these kind of videos, because they inspired you, and sometimes you just want to keep going, like, you know, in your life. Because every now and then we are juggling, for so much is happening. before the show, before we start the show, every time me and Kim ask, how's your week going? And she said, oh, super busy. And she said, what about you? And I said, yes, super busy. So everyone is super duper busy. So in this super
I'm doing what I love.
Yeah.
we
Exactly.
need some sort
Doing the
of
things I love.
people who talk about how to control your destiny and how to be a good person, and maybe there are few opportunities which we missed in our life, so we learn through these examples, and that is the best thing, that you should join his YouTube channel as well, and plus get a copy of his book as well. So thanks a lot, Kyle, for being on our show. It's very inspiring as always. And thank you so much for your time as well. Best of luck for your book. And of course, if we got the timing and all that, I will do advertise on A1 TV as well. Now,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
listening.
and thank every time that I get on with you guys, I take away so much from it. So really, really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And Kim, any few words quickly? It's
I'd
time to
like to just invite people to contact me if they've got a story to tell, or if they've got something that they'd like to share in their story, and we can look at whether we can do a show with you on A1 TV, because we have another one of our survivors coming back next week. We have another survivor story, and they're always very powerful. And then we also have some other news on that Mental Health Act that I've been working on for the last 2 years is actually being presented to Parliament very soon as a bill. So we need to get some positive change happening in the mental health system here in Victoria, because we definitely help lead the way for the rest of Australia as well. So keep an eye out, guys. Watch this space.
I like it. Keep the car. Yeah, so we need this kind of attitude, and that's why we are doing this mental health forum. Thanks a lot for watching, for your immense support, and every week we got some really nice guests like Kyle, and plus very good viewers as well. One of my friends, Simi, she just joined us. Thanks a lot, Simi, and all other viewers, Sarah, Maria, Lee, Andrew, and all others as well. Thank you. Keep watching and keep supporting us. Thank you. Take care. Good night.